Hi. So, have you been having Aries energy type dreams lately? We recently had the new moon in Aries, but I want to make this more of a general type video so that you can turn to it when it's the new moon or full moon, or when your chart is having a big influence with Aries in it. So you can turn back to it and know how it is affecting your dreams. So first, let's just recap that the new moon is when you set intentions. It's when you're planting the seeds. And in dreams, those show up as new ideas, new possibilities, a lot of newness and freshness. So when we're in the full moon, that's when it's more about manifesting. We are releasing, letting things go. And this is where the seeds planted in the new moon will come to fruition 6 months later when the full moon of that same sign happens. So in 6 months after whatever you set the intention for in the new moon in Aries should come to fruition if you've been working on it actively in 6 months for the full moon in Aries. So that's how it works. The moon we know represents our emotions, our feelings, subconscious and triggers. And so the moon phases and the signs create this kind of flavor for the type of dreams that we have. And that's why in this series, we'll start with Aries, which is the first zodiac sign. It's kind of like the start of the astrological calendar. And Aries is ruled by Mars, the planet Mars, and also rules the first house. So this is a cardinal sign, which means it has that startup energy, the energy that we need to start projects, take initiative, as well as get up and go and get things moving. But that's what cardinal stands for. That's the mode that Aries is. And it's also a fire sign, so there can be a lot of flashy and creative energy happening. And you may notice this throughout your day as well, and throughout Aries season. So this is the type of inspiration and spurts of energy that can come up. So what this means is that you will have a lot more willpower and drive to fulfill those desires, to take that initiative and the courage to really step it forward and get things moving. Um, but like every sign has a high side and a low side, which means that if you're expressing the low side of Aries, then you have just that same amount of energy to flip it around and focus on the high side. It's all about our free will and how you choose to work with those energies. So some of the low sides of Aries would be being a bit more impatient. Like just think of the negative qualities of fire. So it would be more impatient, getting heated a bit more, feeling extra competitive, maybe a bit aggressive in some ways, or self-centered, some arrogance. It totally depends how you are representing it, as well as how it's showing up for you specifically. What I like to do is look at what is happening in the planets right now compared to my personal chart, and then see where that Aries moon is highlighting in my chart, regardless of it being new or full moon, or if there is some important transit happening. So if you know about astrology, then you can look at those things. So this is a good time to launch things, launch projects, start new ideas, taking those first steps and making those changes. And so in our dreams, you can notice if it's a new moon in Aries, you can start seeing those seeds being planted. Specifically, I hear a lot of baby dreams. So baby dreams usually represent something that is about to be birthed. You're nurturing, you are caring for it, before it comes out into the world, something that you care for as a baby. So maybe if your business is your baby, or something else that you're just nurturing that requires a lot from you. So in some cases, a baby dream can be considered that Aries type energy because it's something that wants to come out into the world, launching something new, like I mentioned. But also any type of fiery dreams. So if you're having angry dreams, if you had some heated argument with somebody and it's showing up as that clash and that aggression in dreams, that can be Aries type energy as well. So just really noticing what your type of dreams are, what the emotions are behind it. If you can place an element to it and then seeing your chart to see how it's affecting you, or at least just looking at the moon and creating that connection if the moon is in Aries. So those are a couple of things that I wanted to share with you. If you're watching this during a full moon in Aries, then it's what has been built up that can now come to fruition, that can now take those steps forward, or is it something that has been put in the back burner that just needs to be canceled in a sense? So Aries and the cardinal mode, as well as fire elements, can be really quick and flashy with inspiration and those quick ideas. However, with cardinal energy, you can have that startup energy and want to do things, want to do all the things like I tend to feel often, but there's not enough momentum to keep it going. It's like you're rearing up the engines real quick at the beginning, and then you put so much energy in the beginning that it just kind of dies down. So some advice for that, if this is the type of dream you're having and you want to do something actively the next day, would be if it's in the results of having a project that the energy is dropping, then just break it apart so that you can have a lot of new beginnings, and that creative spark can continue through the different phases of a project. Or if it's in the sense of having some type of angry, heated discussion with somebody and it's showing up in your dreams, then you can work out some techniques. Like what I like to do is an angry letter, which is something that you write out everything that you are feeling with that person or about that person, everything you want to express, and then you maybe read it out loud to yourself. You don't give it to them, and then you just burn it. It could be a good release to do during a full moon, especially. Or if you have all these projects that you want to get started, maybe journal on that if you are working on that during a new moon in Aries. And something I really, really enjoy doing is working with my dream guide, which is always there with you in your dreams. And you can connect with your dream guide. And what I like to do is right before bed, as I'm drifting off to sleep, I will connect with my dream guide and call out that this guide brings in dreams that are going to help me point out the action steps needed to really harness this Aries energy. So if I lost you at Dream Guide, it's totally fine. I have a free meditation that you can quickly download, listen to tonight, as well as a mini lesson that's just going to tell you how to realize who your dream guide is so that you can continue connecting with him or her or it. So you can check that out on my website, thedreamingyogi.org. And I would love to hear if you are having any Aries type dreams or how they are showing up for you, as well as if you've connected with your dream guide. I love hearing how they show up differently for different people. So I hope this was helpful. Keep an eye out for the next moon series that I will be doing here next month. I will talk to you all next time. Bye.